It is a back to school season, so let's talk NCLEX. Today, I'm going to be spilling all the tea on how I passed the NCLEX in just 85 questions on my first try. It was just so overwhelming because of all the recommendations people were giving me, the professors online. There was just too much noise happening. But then an angel descended from the heavens. Archer. Have you heard of her? I'm going to break it down so you can use it as a guide for when you start studying. I'm going to review the resources I used, my study plan, my last minute tips, and what test day is actually like. So first, let's talk resources. For context, I graduated in May 2024 and I bought Archer in February 2024. I think they were having some sale. If it wasn't a sale, the only reason why I bought it so early was because our professors were basically hammering us down and asking us to decide what platform we were going to use. A lot of people know UWorld, some people use Kaplan, and Archer was becoming popular because of the NGN NCLEX. I decided on Archer. I got the NGN SurePass plan. It was about $199, I think before tax. I'm on Archer's website. This is just what the homepage looks like. So you're gonna go to nursing, nclexrn. If you scroll all the way down, see it tells you about the SurePass and what that plan involves. They also have the intense prep. Here it tells you all the different programs they have. So SurePass is already clicked. This is the one that I had purchased and it's valid for 180 days. So if I had to retake this exam, I would still have enough days to have access to the program. $199 does seem like a lot, and I knew that when I purchased it, but I thought I just wanted one platform to really focus on and hone in on, because if you have too many resources, it becomes very overwhelming, and Archer has everything you need. This is not sponsored by Archer. I wish it was sponsored by Archer. But I'm telling you, just pick one thing and stick to it. Archer became my main resource. It had an extensive question bank. It had videos, readiness assessments, CAT exams, computer adaptive testing exams, which are supposed to mimic the NCLEX. It also had a 3-day live review where they have teachers from Archer come in and do a live session of the high yield concepts that will be on the NCLEX. They also have recordings of a 3-day live review, which was amazing. Outside of Archer, I used YouTube for refreshers. I use pixorize for pharmacology, and then for concepts and conditions, big picture topics, I used Level Up RN, Simple Nursing. I also listened to a 1-hour review by Beautiful Nursing as well. That's on YouTube. And of course, the Marquet lectures. But I only listened to one of them. Don't worry guys, I'll link everything in the description below. Okay, so let's talk my study plan. I graduated May 21st, 2024, which was a Tuesday. And I had a couple days to just chillax. Took the opportunity to celebrate with my friends and family for a few days. By that Friday, I reopened Archer and I made the calendar I was going to follow. And by that Saturday, I took my baseline test that Archer does provide, and it gives you a guide basically on how you should go moving forward your study plan. Now, Archer gives you different options in terms of calendar and timeline. I remember there was a 3-week and a 6-week calendar. Archer does recommend most people to do the 6-week plan, but I personally chose the 3-week plan. One, because I didn't want to study for basically 2 months. I didn't think I needed to study for 2 months. 2, I wanted to get my license ASAP. And honestly, I don't think 6 weeks is required for every single person. You made it through nursing school, learned everything that you needed to learn to pass the test. I would recommend, if you're unsure, to maybe base it on your GPA. If your GPA is below 3.5, maybe take the 6-week course. Or if it's above 3.5, just do the 3-week. Once I decided I was going to do the 3-week plan, I went onto Canva. I love Canva. I went into Canva and I edited a calendar where I can add things aside from what Archer recommends. So what I did was went into Canva, and after my baseline test, I started with the 3-day live review first so that I can get a broad overview of the concepts on the test and the high yield topics. I highly recommend doing this so that you can gauge on what you need to review and how you should go moving forward. What I did with my Canva made calendar is that after downloading it into my computer, I uploaded it to my iPad, and I have GoodNotes. So I just uploaded it into GoodNotes and I wrote my plan. But what ended up happening was I followed the Archer plan to the T for the first week. But some of these lecture videos that they have on Archer are very long. They range, some of them are like maybe 30 minutes, others are like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And I personally didn't think I had to relearn everything I learned in nursing school. So after that first week, I adjusted my plan to prioritizing practice questions and reviewing concepts and systems that I had struggled on during nursing school. You do not have to relearn everything that you ever learned in nursing school. The test is about application. It's not going to be asking you basic recall questions. It's not going to say, what is this? What is this? What is this? You have to know the material and know how to apply it. And obviously know how to pick the best answer. If you want to pass your first try, really it doesn't matter if you pass in 85 questions and 110 questions or whatever. If you want to pass in general, you have to lock in. You have to seriously lock in. This 1 month of studying hard should be nothing compared to the time you spent in nursing school. So I treated studying like a full-time job. You have to block out time to really commit to yourself. What's 1 more month, right? From Monday to Friday, I studied from 9 to 5 or until I was done with my plan for the day. I had the same routine, which really helped. I woke up, did my morning routine, brushed my teeth. I got my coffee and my water, probably a third beverage. I don't know, I love beverages. I went to my dedicated study space. I do have an extra room as an office in my home, so I studied in my office. Some people go to study in a library. I think I tried that maybe once or twice, but I just liked having the same routine, so I didn't spend time driving to the library, going here, going there. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. It was in the room, but it was not next to me. You should put your phone somewhere where it's not reachable. And if you can't see it, out of sight, out of mind. On weekends, I took it a little bit chiller. I still did study, but what I did was do more of a review, especially with the YouTube videos. When I would look up something on YouTube, I would save it to a special playlist. I just titled it NCLEX. So in the weekend, if I couldn't remember a specific medication or I still didn't really understand something about the heart, I bookmarked it and I saved it onto my playlist so that I had compiled videos that I could just watch over and over again to really instill the information. In my playlist, I added the Beautiful Nursing 1-hour lecture review to listen to when I'm driving or I'm just doing whatever. I would also listen to Marquet's prioritization lecture, which is the last lecture. Marquet has a lot of videos. I think it's maybe 12. Some people I know listen to all of them, but again, since I had Archer, I didn't want to waste time listening to everything that Archer was basically telling me as well. But if you do one thing, please listen to that last lecture. It is very helpful. It gives you tips on delegation and prioritization, which is key to taking the NCLEX and getting a lot of those questions correct. Now, let me break down how I used Archer specifically. There are 3 main ways you can take practice questions on Archer. So there is the QBank, the readiness assessments, and the CAT exams. The QBank is just compilation of questions, and Archer recommends doing 85 in one sitting. So if you wanted to just do practice questions for a day, you would do it from the QBank. Archer also has readiness assessments, which they say if you score high or very high 4 in a row, then you have a 98% chance of passing the NCLEX. There are also CAT exams, which stands for Computer Adaptive Testing Exam, which is how the NCLEX is going to be like. it will give you questions based on how you answer the previous one. So if you get one wrong, it might give you an easier one. Or if you answer a medium question correctly, it might give you a select all the apply. The CAT exams may be a little scary because it doesn't let you go back and it doesn't give you the answer as soon as you answer it. But you should practice these because that is how test day is going to be. Most importantly, you have to read every rationale. Okay, maybe not every rationale, but definitely the rationales from the questions you got wrong. I would also read the rationales from the ones I guessed right because I didn't really know what the answer was, so you should read the rationale. And sometimes I would still read the rationales for the ones I got right and I knew why they were right. I would just like to see how Archer explained to me why it was right as well. But definitely read every rationale to the ones you got wrong. During the last week of studying, I scored 2 or 3 very high on my exams, and then I got 1 borderline. But that 1 borderline didn't really scare me because I had been scoring high, very high for the past 2 weeks before that. So a borderline here and there shouldn't scare you. You just have to review some specific things that were on that specific test. The night before the exam. What did you do the night before the exam, Genesis? Let me tell you. The night before the exam, I did not do any practice questions. And I did not take a practice test. I did not take a CAT exam. I did not do any tests. Because if I got a borderline, I would have gotten anxious. I would have gotten scared. I would recommend don't do it. Some people don't do any studying the night before the NCLEX. For me, I still reviewed some high yield concepts. Whatever you think you need a refresher on, just watch a 5-minute, 10-minute video on YouTube about it. It's fine. One little video is okay. All right? Definitely listen to Mark K's last lecture, the prioritization lecture, the night before, just to seal the deal. This may be a little woo-woo, but I also listen to affirmations and manifestation music. I listen to 432 hertz frequency on YouTube. I slept to it sometimes. It's to bring good luck or whatever. I was doing everything I needed to do to make sure I got that pass, okay? So I listened to 432 hertz. I think there's one that's 525 or something. And I also listened to a specific guided meditation one the night before and on the way to the NCLEX. Here she is. She is amazing. I still listen to her to this day. And remember, you probably will never really feel 100% ready for a test like this because you don't know exactly what will be on the test. But if you put in the work, take your time, you are ready. And now it's exam day. I think you shouldn't tell anyone that you're taking the test. Maybe 1 or 2 people, like the person who's dropping you off, or a parent or a significant other. But don't go, posting on TikTok and whatever. Oh, today is NCLEX day, da 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 da. No, you don't want that. Let me tell you why you don't want that. People will be hitting you up, saying good luck, you got this, right before you take the exam. And that's going to stress you out. It will stress you out. It's going to make you anxious. It's going to make you think, oh, if I don't pass this one time, I'm going to have to take it again. It's anxiety inducing and I do not recommend it. I would say it's nice if you do a little video for yourself, just to see how you feel that moment. And it's just always nice to have record of your life. It's like a video diary. Funny enough, since I didn't tell anyone what day I was taking my test, when I pulled up to my exam testing center, I saw my best friend there who was going to take the test the same time and day I was going to take it. And guess what? We both passed together. Okay? Yeah. Shout out to Alex. Love you, Alex. Yeah. I would say don't tell anyone because people will hit you up, call you after a week, 2 weeks, asking, did you pass? Did you pass? And what if you didn't pass? And then you're going to feel worse. But you're going to pass. But, just don't tell anyone. You don't need to tell nobody. You don't need to tell one of your business. You let people know when you pass, when you get that RN after your name, okay? So the actual NCLEX, it was rough. I'll tell you that, it was rough. I say that because throughout the test, I would be I felt like, oh, I'm doing good. And then out of nowhere, I felt like I was doing very bad. The questions were getting harder. I was stressing, like, what's going on? People are getting up. I was scared, okay? Like, after I left that testing center, I was very unsure. I wasn't like 100%, oh, I definitely passed that. And since my test shut off at 85, I was like, I either did well or I did bad. But remember, since it's a computer adaptive exam, if it's getting harder, it's usually a good sign. That means you're answering the easy and medium questions correctly. Now, if you're getting easy questions over and over and over, that might not be a good sign, just to be honest. But try not to overthink. I know it's easier said than done. Try not to keep track of what types of questions you're getting throughout the test. Because I remember people saying, oh my gosh, I only had 8 SATA questions, or I had 10, or I should have gotten more SATA questions, or only got 1, or my friend's test was longer than mine, or I had 150 questions instead of 85. Every test is different. You are not your friend. You are you. You are smart. You are capable. You made it to this point. You can do it. Okay? Comparing, what is it? Comparison is the thief of joy. Okay? You are you. Yes, this is to pass in 85 questions, but if you pass in 88, if you pass in 110, you still passed. Okay? You passed. You did that, okay? One thing I would also say is take your time. You have ample amount of time. When I was taking my Archer exams, I finished them in half the time I actually took to take my NCLEX. On the NCLEX, you cannot go back. If you think of a question, oh, it was B, not A. You can't go back. You can't change your answer. So make sure you read the question and understand the question. Make sure you read all the choices and understand every choice. Not saying the NCLEX is trying to trick you, but it's also testing your reading comprehension. And if you read only, I was guilty of this, I would read basically like the question once or read half the question and not fully understand it and think it was C, but it was really D. Okay, so take your time. Read the question and read every option they give you. Because it's a good chance that 2 answers might be correct, but you have to pick the most correct one. In terms of test day logistics, bring what you need to bring. Do not come in here, bring in all these extra stuff. You don't need it. Bring your ID. Bring whatever the testing center tells you to bring. If you're driving yourself, just leave your phone in your car. Okay? Obviously, bring your car keys. But if you're driving yourself, leave your phone in your car, turned off, whatever. Don't bring your phone. You don't need your phone. Why did a girl bring her Kindle to the day she was taking the NCLEX? That don't make sense to me. They give you a locker. I put my keys in the locker. That's it. And my ID. That's it. After the test, I honestly try to forget about it. Okay, I had a vacation planned a couple days after my test. I went to Costa Rica. Love Costa Rica. I tried not to think about it or stress about it. Plus, there was a weekend after I took my exam, so I wouldn't be able to get my results that quick anyway. So if you can, maybe plan a cute little coffee date with your friend. Plan an activity you like to do, like Orange Theory, Pilates. I love Orange Theory. Do what you need to do to really just be grateful. Be proud of yourself that you locked in. Just be proud of yourself. You worked really hard. And it's hard to not think about it, but try not to think about it. There are many ways online you can see if you passed or not. Like back in the day, it was a Pearson VUE trick. I don't know if that works anymore, but what I did was that I just went on my state's Board of Nursing website and kept putting in my name and my information and kept refreshing the page to see if I had a license number. Okay, friends, so that's how I passed the NCLEX in 85 questions on my first try. Archer, a study plan, YouTube videos, coffee, and a lot of praying. Okay? If you are about to take it or plan to take it, stick to practice questions. Build a realistic schedule for yourself. If you can't commit 8 hours every day for a month, maybe commit 5 hours every day for 2 months. Set a realistic schedule for yourself so you don't have to keep taking this exam and spending money. You've already made it this far in nursing school. The NCLEX is just the last step. You got this. I believe in you. I believe in you. You got this. You got it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are taking the NCLEX soon or plan to take it, comment down below. Positive affirmation. I'm sending good vibes. I'm sending all the love to all of you guys. And I'll catch you guys next time.